Hello! Once again we're making Mexican food tonight. We're gonna make red snapper ceviche tacos. I've got 2 pounds of Pacific red snapper fillets. First thing you want to do is debone the best you can. If you could look at the fillet, you'll see there's still remnants of skin on this side. Well, this was the outside of the fish. We're gonna turn it over to the inside of the fish. I'm going to take the back of my knife and I'm going to run it along it with the grain. It's going to show me where the bones are still sticking out. Put your finger on there, you'll feel them. You want to grab them, pull the bones out. Get rid of as many as you can. Larger fish, you probably want to use needle nose pliers to do this, like salmon or halibut. But for these little guys, just using your fingers is fine. There shouldn't be a lot. Mostly going to be along up here where the top of the fish was, and you'll feel them with your fingers. Alright folks, I've gotten rid of what I could figure is all the bones out of my fillets. I'm going to start off with these 3 on here, and we're just going to cut them into about 1/4-inch cubes. So I'm going to start this way. Line them up. Give them a good dice. 1/4-inch cubes, 1/2-inch cubes. And since the Carter family recycles, I've got a shitty old but clean margarine container. Works good for putting our product in. Okie dokie, as you can see, our margarine container is pretty much full to the top with our boned and diced red snapper. Next thing to do, you're going to want to add fresh lime juice. As you can see, the lime, 2 ends, cut in the middle. You could use a sieve or a china hat or your fingers to strain. I prefer my fingers. We're going to add the juice of 10 to 12 limes. We want the lime juice to come up just to the top of the fish. Alrighty, it took exactly the juice from 10 limes to get it right over the top of our diced up red snapper fillets. Now, all seafood, I don't care what anybody says, even though it comes out of the ocean and it's salty water, goddammit, it needs salt. I've got some Mediterranean sea salt here. I'm going to probably put a teaspoon and 1/4. I'm going to mix it up. Spill it all over the goddamn place. Smush it down. Lime juice is back over the top. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I'm going to let the lime juice, the acids in the lime juice do its magic and cook this red snapper. Now you want to let it sit in there for a minimum of 4 hours. With the way I like to do it, I like to do this process at the end of the evening and let it sit overnight. And then we'll have this for lunch the next day. Alright folks, we have let our red snapper marinate in the lime juice overnight and we're ready to start making our ceviche. If you take a look, you see it's turning opaque, lightening up. That means the lime juice has done its trick and this raw fish is ready. What I'm going to do is move it into a larger container and I'm going to put lime juice and all in there. That's where the flavor is, folks. Next, I am going to add, if I can find where the Sam hell my spoons went, there they are. A teaspoon of Mexican oregano. Well, it's going to be a heaping teaspoon. This is potent stuff, folks. This is a fresh bag. Don't overdo it, or everything's going to smell like oregano. I've got 2 large cloves of garlic diced. I've got 2 large jalapenos, or jolly penises, however you want to pronounce it. One half of a medium cucumber diced. This is roughly probably a cup and a half. It was 1 bunch trimmed fresh cilantro. 2 large fresh Roma tomatoes diced. Oh, the cilantro, by the way, was cut up into a fine chop. I've got, this was 1 bunch trimmed green onion, sliced. 3 cups of green cabbage, shredded. And 3 cups iceberg lettuce, shredded. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have extra virgin, you can use regular old slutty olive oil. Mix it up. It's a good thing I've got a clean countertop because I'm spilling shit everywhere. There we go. I'm gonna put the cover back on this, put it back in the refrigerator for about an hour while I'm getting the rest of the stuff going. Alrighty, we're gonna make our tortilla shells for our tacos. You can use pre-made tortilla shells if you want, but if you're like me and you bite into it and it falls all the fuck apart, you're gonna get pissed off, probably end up giving it to the dog and drinking beer for the rest of the night. So I've got some white cornmeal, harina blanco corn tortillas. I've got my half a cup of vegetable oil in there. I'm gonna throw it in. Gonna let it sit in there till it starts bubbling up good on one side. Flip it over, let it start bubbling. And then we're gonna twist it over to form our taco shell. Sometimes they give you shit, you just gotta wrestle through them. That's perfect right there. I've got a paper plate with a couple sections of a paper towel to block the, to blot the oil. I like sprinkling a little salt in them myself. And it gives them a little more flavor. If you're sodium conscious, don't worry about it. If you're a vegan, go get fucked. There you go, ceviche tacos. Bon appetit. Or as they say in southern United States, Boney ate titties.